Alright, another GAC voiceover of the same old shit. Honestly, I can't fucking wait till the next GAC season because it's going to include Galactic Legendaries and it's going to be a fucking shit show. Legendaries are going to completely change the dynamic. Because right now, the only thing that can beat Ray reliably is gas. So, I guess if you hold gas for offense, if you hold gas for offense, then you better make sure that your CLS watt counter to gas works well, because if your opponent drops a Galactic Legendary and gas on D, then holy mother of God, you got some problems. So recording this video is over, it's got to be a week old. I just am extremely delinquent at recording voiceovers for my GACs because I hate it. I don't hate GAC. I just hate doing the voiceovers for GAC because it's the same shit every goddamn time. That's why I'm glad that I think 3v3 is next. That's at least a little different. It's not the same thing every time. You're going to see a whole lot of different combos, which partly may be why people hate 3v3 so much, but that's why I love 3v3. I can't wait to put both my Galactic Legendaries on D and just see nothing else happen. Ultimate stalemate. No, seriously, I might try that at some point. Not going to talk about Corona. Going to talk about the stock markets. Today is Tuesday. The time of this recording is Tuesday, March 31st at approximately 23:21 p.m. Stock market was down today. It started out down, then reversed, had about a 400-point reversal, and then ended up down again at the end. I think it traded within a 500 or 600 point range, the Dow at least. Which is bad because it ended up down, but the fact that it doesn't have a range of several thousands of points like it did last week is encouraging. By the way, I totally apologize for the siren you're hearing in the background. It is coming by my apartment building, and I have my door open because I am sweating my nuts off in my apartment. I do not know why, but my apartment building gets very, very hot. It could be the dead of winter. It could be 20 degrees outside. Bella and I have the windows open because it is a sauna in here. We literally either or both have the windows open and or the air conditioner going literally 12 months out of the year because it gets so fucking hot. I'm also on the 14th floor, so heat rises, right? Cool air descends, heat rises. So that certainly could be a contributing factor. Anyway, I digress. I don't remember what I digressed from. Oh yeah, the stock market. So I think that I don't necessarily think that it's the lowest that it's going to go. I think we might retest some of the lower levels we saw last week. I don't think that is very likely, but you never know, because tomorrow some more terrible, even worse news about Corona. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about Corona, but we're talking about the markets, could come out and scare the shit out of everybody again. Do I think the worst is over for Corona? No. Do I think that it is going to plateau in the foreseeable future? God, I fucking hope so. The estimates are within the next 1 to 2 weeks. If that is accurate, that's good. If we can be better than that, that's even better. Because although I'm fine sitting at home in my apartment working from home, although I'm not making any overtime right now, that's okay. There are plenty of people who cannot work from home and are out of a job which they desperately need to make ends meet. And while I don't mind basically getting paid to be at home, there are literal millions of people who cannot do that. So for the sake of John Q. taxpayer, we really need to get this virus under control by social distancing and being smart about our health. And yeah, we need to get this country back to work. So if you're going outside, if you're, playing fast and loose with everything, if you're ignoring CDC recommendations, if you're ignoring municipal recommendations, i.e. if you're a fucking millennial or Gen Z fucking partying in Miami for spring break, you're the fucking problem. You are the problem. Yes, lots of old people are getting sick. They're not the problem. It's people like you running around like a fucking idiot trying to, pretend like nothing is wrong, or maybe you genuinely think nothing is wrong because you're an idiot. You're the fucking problem. So stop being a fucking part of the fucking problem and start being part of the solution. Stay home. Wash your hands. Don't touch surfaces like high risk surfaces, doorknobs, handles, elevator buttons, microwave buttons. Don't be touching that shit, man. And if you do, wash your fucking hands or Purell them or whatever. Wear gloves. But then don't touch your face with your gloves, as I've seen many people do. I've seen people touch door handles with their gloves and then they reach into their pocket and grab their phone. Like, you're fucking stupid. So, we need to get this economy and the country and the world back on track. We do that by staying healthy, stop getting sick, and we can get there. Because, Joe Schmo that works in your bogey or, delivers your pizza. Well, actually, the pizza delivery guys are probably fine. Retail, fucked. Millions of people, literally millions of people work in commercial retail. Do you think any of them are keeping their jobs right now? No. Unemployment went up literally by millions, several millions. And it's probably going to get worse over the next month. So, do us all a favor, stay home, binge watch some Netflix as you've been wanting to do for a long time. Watch this new stupid tiger thing that's on Netflix. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm not watching that shit. Go garden at home. I got a fucking balcony garden on my terrace here in New York City. If I can do it, you can do it. And not for nothing, if this is the apocalypse, then at least you'll have a supply of food. Try that. It's actually really centering to garden, even rooftop gardening or balcony gardening in the city. It's quite nice. Only reason why I wish I had a yard is so I could wish I had a nice full-size garden patch. So, let's get the economy back on the road. I don't think that, and this is nothing against Easter, I don't think that Easter is a realistic time for everyone to just be congregating again. There was actually a priest that got arrested down south for purposefully subverting and disobeying social distancing guidelines as set forth by the government. He got arrested. I think that's a little excessive, but he got arrested. So, do your part, stay home, stay healthy, and let's get this fucking going. This is the greatest country in the world. There's nothing we can't do, but we have to actually do it, and not just shake it off and say, I'll be fine. No, you won't. And even if you are, somebody else that you come in contact with might not be, so don't be selfish. I am self-quarantining from the rest of my entire family because Bella works in a hospital and her unit is a COVID unit. So I am, by choice, I'm not symptomatic. I am, by choice, self-quarantining from the rest of my family. I have plenty of things to do with my family, including but not limited to cleaning out my dad's old apartment and dealing with the estate and this and that, whatever. And I'm not going near them because I don't want to get them sick. I'm not even going near my mom. I don't want to get her sick. Just me and Bella and Rosie. Keeping each other company, driving each other fucking insane. That's it. By the way, I can't believe that I am about to lose this Treya versus Night Sisters. It's a very, very, very strong Night Sisters. Maybe I should have taken a fifth in here instead of undermanning it, but whatever, it is what it is. I don't care. So going back to the stock market, if you are this is my non-professional opinion. I do not have a stockbroker's license. I do not have any licenses pertaining to the stock market or equities or any kind of financial products. This is purely my non-professional amateur opinion. There's that disclaimer, so no one can sue me, okay? But personally, I think if you have the means to invest in the market and are either not currently invested in the market or are invested in the market but are worried about selling, don't sell at this point. First of all, you'd be turning that paper loss into a realized loss, unrealized into realized loss. Don't do that. If you aren't in the market and you have the means to, you might want to think about scaling in. Because before this whole coronavirus thing hit, things were going fairly well. Certain things were a little expensive. Certain valuations looked a little bit interesting. Some parts of the market were certainly overbought before this coronavirus thing hit. But at this point, I think the best performing stock has decreased by no less than 20%. So if you aren't in the market and you are thinking about being a long-term investor, and you should, now might be the time. Might the stock market go down a little bit more from here? Yes, absolutely. But if you look at take the Dow, and the Dow honestly isn't even a real benchmark, and anyone that works in finance or deals with the stock market will tell you that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is by no means a benchmark to which you should compare anything, certainly not your own performance. The Dow Jones stocks are a collection of 30 stocks that somewhat arbitrarily are deemed to be representative of the American economy. That's why you'll see like Microsoft, Apple. It's all the really hot, popular stuff. A few years ago, or up until a few years ago, Kraft used to be in the Dow Jones. It got taken out. Why? People don't eat fucking Oscar Mayer as much anymore, although right now, during this coronavirus thing, that might be an exception. So the Dow, I wouldn't call it fluid, but it's certainly not set in stone, the Dow 30. If you want to look at a benchmark, 99 people out of 100, in fact, 999 people out of 1,000 will say that the S&P 500 is your benchmark. I don't recommend spiders or broad, index mirroring ETFs or mutual funds. But whatever you do, if you don't have money in the market, put your money in the market. Put something in the money of your money in the market. Put what you're comfortable in. Don't bet the farm on everything, on one thing. Scale in, diversify. I mean, you think about the way I used to invest. In fact, the way I still invest is, okay, even in a cyclical sector, say an industrial. Industrial stocks are pretty much by design cyclical. They're going to have, busy months or seasons and quiet months or seasons, busy, quiet, cyclical. What's what's a good cyclical industrial stock that you really need? My pick, and it might be an unpopular pick, and my dad actually made fun of me because I want to buy it. Waste management. Is it still cyclical? Yes, absolutely. There are certain times of the year where there's honestly just more garbage than other times of the year. But you're always going to need it. Always. If you are serviced by waste management, you're always going to need them. You're not going to call up waste management and say, I don't actually need you for the next 2 or 3 months, so, don't bill me. It's just not going to happen. Now, construction, that's certainly cyclical. In fact, it is, in most parts of the world, seasonal. So maybe you don't want, although it's a great stock and I used to own it, Caterpillar. For me, as a somewhat conservative investor, waste management, much more of a necessity than Caterpillar. Because you look right now, coronavirus. There's still plenty of garbage. In fact, there might honestly be more garbage right now because people are just hoarding shit. They're hoarding so much more shit than they really need to, and they're going to end up wasting and throwing out a lot of it. And even if they don't, they're going to go through all that and throw it all out, right? So Caterpillar, large construction equipment company, ain't no construction going on around here right now. Certainly not in New York State. In most parts of the country and the world, construction at the very least will be slowing down tremendously, while waste management, although the share price has gone down, I would almost venture to say it might be status quo for waste management. Just an example. What else? I like to pick staples of whatever sector I'm looking at. There are very few stocks that I think are buy and hold forever. Disney is one of them, even though Disney is certainly down within the last month significantly because they've had to close all their parks and they've had to delay movie releases and this, that, and the other thing. That's fine. I bought more Disney recently at a much lower price because I know eventually it's going to get back to where it was. Not going to be tomorrow, not going to be next month, but 6 months, that's fine. I will lower my cost on the stock and make more money on the way back up. So I really do think that now is a good time to get into the market. You're never going to time the market perfectly. People that have been investing and trading in the stock markets for years and decades, most of them, unless they're egomaniacs, will tell you it is impossible to time the market perfectly. In fact, when I put more money in the other day, it was at the low for the week. This was after we had that week of down 2,000, up 1,000, down 2,000, up, before, once we leveled out back at around 20,000 on the Dow. And I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to time it perfectly. I'm going to put it in right now. I put that money in when the Dow was about 20,000. Dow is just under, I think, 22,000 today. Did I know that was going to happen? Fuck no. I wish I could boast and say that I did. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So don't think that you're going to time the market perfectly. It's just not going to happen. If you are savvy enough, set limit orders. That's where you say, I want this stock, but I'm only going to pay this price at it. And if the share price trades at that price for the ask, then you pick it up. All this to say, a tremendous amount of wealth has been created by the stock market, not just in just overall share price appreciation, but also dividend reinvestments, compounded interest. So if you are a little bit on the squeamish side, look into dividends.